Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 जग विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य तथा श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन ब्यूटी फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस जग विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य तथा श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्री राधा मदन मोहन ललिता विशाखा जीव की श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री गौर निताय की कृष्णदेव भगवान की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद all glories to the assembly bodies, all glories to the assembly bodies, all glories to the assembly bodies, all glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्णा। तो आज हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं इस ग्रेट संकर्षण निताई प्रभु। क्योंकि प्रभु जी क्लास इंग्लिश में देंगे तो मैं भी इंट्रोडक्शन इंग्लिश में दूंगा।
हिंदी में बोलूंगा, मिक्स हो गया।
ठीक, तो मैं भी मिक्स बोलूंगा। प्रभु जी बहुत ही सीनियर डिवोटी हैं। प्रभु जी ने सन 1996 में इस्कॉन ज्वाइन किया था। हम समझ सकते हैं कि पिछले लगभग 27 सालों से प्रभु जी अपनी सेवा इस्कॉन में दे रहे हैं। प्रभु जी का शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन है। प्रभु जी का जन्म 1973 में वेस्ट बंगाल में हुआ था और प्रभु जी ने अपनी पढ़ाई में चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी और कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंसी दोनों, कॉमर्स में 3 फील्ड होती हैं जो ज़्यादा कठिन मानी जाती है, CA, CS और CWA। तो उसमें से प्रभु जी के पास 2 डिग्री हैं, CA और CWA की। और पढ़ाई पूरी करने के बाद प्रभु जी एक बार 1995 में इस्कॉन के संपर्क में आए थे और मायापुर दर्शन करने के लिए गए। तो जैसे ही प्रभु जी ने मायापुर दर्शन किया, प्रभु जी को इतना अच्छा लगा, मायापुर धाम ने प्रभु जी को इतना आकर्षण कर लिया, स्पेशली नित्यानंद प्रभु ने। तो प्रभु जी ने सोचा कि बस अब जीवन यहीं पे देना है, मायापुर धाम की सेवा में देना है। इसलिए 1996 में प्रभु जी ने पूरी तरीके से समर्पण कर दिया और प्रभु जी फुल टाइम ब्रह्मचारी के रूप में अपनी सेवाएं वहाँ पर दे रहे हैं। स्वभाव से ही प्रभु जी नेचुरली बहुत अच्छे प्रचारक हैं। हम कहीं भी जाते हैं, ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि पिछले 4 दिन से मैं प्रभु जी के साथ मध्य प्रदेश में अलग अलग जगह भ्रमण कर रहा हूँ। तो प्रभु जी का बहुत अच्छा स्वभाव है और सभी भक्त लोग इनके स्वभाव से आकर्षित हो जाते हैं और वास्तविकता में ही प्रचार हो जाता है, स्वाभाविकता में ही प्रचार हो जाता है। इसलिए प्रचार में प्रभु जी अपनी बहुत अच्छी सेवाएं दे रहे हैं, विशेषकर कॉलेज प्रीचिंग, भक्ति वृक्ष टीचिंग, मायापुर में अलग अलग प्रकार से प्रचार में उन्होंने ध्यान दिया। चैतन्य महाप्रभु की शिक्षाओं को 2006 से बहुत लंबे समय से प्रचारित कर रहे हैं और मायापुर में उन्होंने बहुत सारी मैनेजमेंट की सेवाएं भी दी हैं, जिसमें टेम्पल मैनेजमेंट काउंसिल और ट्रेजरी, ऐसे करके बहुत सारी सेवाएं प्रभु जी ने वहाँ पर दी हैं। और 2018 में प्रभु जी फुल टाइम टीचिंग के लिए एंगेज हुए और मैनेजमेंट सेवाओं से नियुक्ति लेकर। तो यहाँ पर प्रभु जी अभी इस्कॉन उत्तर प्रदेश, राजस्थान, मेघालय, अरुणाचल प्रदेश, इन सब के प्रभु जी रीजनल सेक्रेटरी हैं और साथ ही साथ इस्कॉन भागवत महाविद्यालय के चेयरमैन भी हैं जो वृंदावन में हैं। और अभी प्रेम भक्ति प्रभु ने कुछ दिन पहले अपडेट किया था कि अभी जो रूप में हम प्रभु जी को देख रहे हैं, आने वाले 1 साल में हम इस रूप में नहीं देखेंगे। प्रभु जी हमें सन्यासी वेश में दिखाई देंगे। हरि बोल। तो हमारा बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि हमें प्रभु जी का संग मिल रहा है। हम प्रभु जी का स्वागत करेंगे 3 बार हरि बोल बगैर। हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। ग्रेट संकर्षण निताई प्रभु की जय।
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादन सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य दिशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिष्ये नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नष्टकी। So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text number 6. श्रीमद् भागवत के स्कंद 1 अध्याय 2 श्लोक संख्या 6 से हम लोग पाठ करके श्रवण करेंगे। सबई पुंसां पर धर्म जत भक्तिर अधक्षजे अहैतुक्य प्रतिहता ये आत्मा सुप्रसीदति। सबई पुंसां पर धर्म यत भक्तिर अधक्षजे अहैतुकी अप्रतिहता तजात्मा सुप्रसीदति। सबई पुंसां पर धर्म यत भक्तिर अधक्षजे अहैतुकी अप्रतिहता तजात्मा सुप्रसीदति। Sa that by certainly Pungsang for mankind, Paraha sublime, Dharmaha occupation, Jataha by which, Bhakti devotional service, Adakshaje unto the transcendence, Ahaituki causeless, Apratihata unbroken, Yaya by which, Atma the self, Suprasidati completely satisfied. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Purport. In this statement, Sri Sutta Goswami answered the first question of the sages of Naimisharanya. The sages asked him to summarize the whole range of revealed scriptures and present the most essential part so that fallen people or the people in general might easily take it up. The Vedas prescribes two different types of occupation for the human being. One is called the Pavritti marg or the path of sense enjoyment, and the other is called the Nivritti marg or the path of renunciation. The path of enjoyment is inferior and the path of sacrifice for the supreme cause is superior. The material existence of living being is disease condition of actual life. Actual life is spiritual existence or Brahma-bhuta existence, where life is eternal, blissful and full of knowledge. Material existence is temporary, illusory and full of miseries. There is no happiness at all. There is just the futile attempt to get rid of the miseries, and temporary cessation of misery is falsely called happiness. Therefore, the path of progressive material enjoyment, which is temporary, miserable and illusory, is inferior. But devotional service to the Supreme Lord, which leads one to eternal, blissful and all cognizant life, is called superior quality of occupation. This is sometimes polluted when mixed with the inferior quality. For example, adoption of devotional service for material gain is certainly an obstruction to the progressive path of renunciation. Renunciation or abnegation for ultimate good is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment in the disease condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. Therefore, devotional service to the Lord must be pure in quality, that is, without the least desire for material enjoyment. One should therefore accept the superior quality of occupation in the form of devotional service of the Lord without any tinge of unnecessary desire, fruitive action and philosophical speculation. This alone can lead one to perpetual solace in his service. We have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna is the central pivot of all of living beings, and he is the all-attractive living entity or eternal form amongst all other living beings or eternal forms. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the eternal attraction for all of them. Krishna is the complete whole, and everything else is his part and parcel. The relation is one of the servant and the served. It is transcendental and is completely distinct from our experience in material existence. This relation of servant and the served is the most congenial form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage himself in that transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue of actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. Mukam karati vachalam pangul langhaite giring yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Guru Datarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeshwara. Hare Krishna. I am very happy for the first time giving a class in Iskcon Ujjain temple. And I am also feeling a lot of pain and separation from His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, who was my big source of inspiration, guide in my spiritual life. And he was very fond that we should preach Krishna consciousness in English. That's why I chose to speak in English, although we are in Madhya Pradesh. So, this verse is very fundamental verse of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give pure devotional service, Suddha Bhakti. Not only Suddha Bhakti, topmost Suddha Bhakti. Braja Prema Bhakti. Anarpita charing chirat korunaya avatirna kalau samarpaitu munnat ujjala rasang sabhakti shriyam haripurana sundara duti kadamba sandipita sada hidaya kandare spuratu vasachinandana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gaurhari came to distribute very rare gift for the human society, love of Godhead, especially the gopis' love for Krishna in Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu came to give Harinam Sankirtan because that is the process in this age of Kali. But Mahaprabhu gave special Harinam Sankirtan. It's called Prem Sankirtan. This Sankirtan came from Goloka Vrindavan. Harinam Sankirtan is the process in every Kali Yuga. But Mahaprabhu gave something which other Yuga avatars in other Kali Yuga cannot give. That is a very, very rare gift. And his most important representative, the main Acharya of our line, Srila Rupa Goswami, has described in detail the science of devotional service in his wonderful devotional classic, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And that is the main book for Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So Rupa Goswami has defined Suddha Bhakti very wonderfully. He has described Suddha Bhakti as Anna Vilasita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anabhitam Anukullena Krishna Nushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. This verse is the key verse. If you want to know the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this verse has to be understood. If this verse is not understood, then you cannot understand the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the definition of Uttama Bhakti. Uttama Bhakti means Suddha Bhakti. Suddha Bhakti means which is not Mishra Bhakti. No mixture. Generally in this world, everything is mixed. Mixed with desires. And two kinds of desires are very, very prominent. Desire for enjoyment and desire for liberation. Bhukti and Mukti. And according to the teachings of Mahaprabhu, these are not desirable. That's why Bhakti has to be free from Bhukti and Mukti. Mahaprabhu has come not to give Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Mahaprabhu came to give Suddha Bhakti, which is the essence of devotional service. So this verse is a very deep verse. That is not the topic today. Topic I will discuss the symptoms of this bhakti. That is ahituki and apratihata. Because here Sutta Goswami also explains what is the supreme occupation of a human being. Jato bhaktir adaksya. The supreme religion is to render devotional service to Krishna. That is the essence. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is spotless Purana. Why? Because it talks about Suddha Bhakti. Where Bhagavad Gita ends, Srimad Bhagavatam begins. Where Bhagavatam ends, Chaitanya Charitamrita begins. That is the level of Krishna consciousness. Bhagavad Gita ends, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Give up all varieties of religion and surrender unto Krishna. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That is the end of Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavatam begins, Dharma Prajjita Kaita Vatra Paramanirma Saranam Sutta. Give up all cheating religion. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, Prithivite Dharma Name Jato Sab Chale, Bhagavate Kahe Sab Paripurna Chale. Whatever religious practices are going on in the world, Srimad Bhagavatam says that is cheating religion. Why cheating? Because this religion is not giving the real substance. That is Suddha Bhakti. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives Suddha Bhakti. What is the meaning of Suddha Bhakti? Anna Bhilasita Sunyam. It is a desire that is more important. It is not the content, but the intent is very important. Activity, the quality of activity is determined by the quality of the intent. That's why the verse begins with that intent. Anya Bhilasita Sunyam. What is the meaning of Anna Bhilasita Sunyam? Devotional service should be free from other desire. The desire other than pleasing Krishna is Anna Bhilasita. Suddha Bhakti, there should be only one desire. What is the desire? Desire to please Krishna. If we have any other desire, then it is not Suddha Bhakti. This is very, very important principle. It is not said Jnana Karmadi Sunyam. It is written Jnana Karmadi Anapritam. But it is explained or it is mentioned Anna Bhilasita Sunyam. Bhakti can be mixed with karma and jnana. But it should not have the desire of karma and jnana. What is the motivation behind karma? To enjoy. What is the motivation behind jnana? Get mukti. But bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti should be free from those two desires. That's why Anna Bhilasita Sunya. So Parikshit Maharaj, all other kings, they are also doing so many sacrifices. But they are doing those sacrifices not for promoting themselves to the heavenly planet. That is the purpose of Karmakanda sacrifices. But these kings used to do that. But why they used to do that? As a matter of duty and for the purpose of pleasing the Supreme Personality of God. That's why this karma is not covering the bhakti. But if we do karma to enjoy the result of karma, then that will cover bhakti. That is the difference between Jnana Karmadi Sunyam and Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So Rupa Goswami is giving a very, very broad meaning of Suddha Bhakti. The most complete definition of Bhakti is given by Rupa Goswami in this verse. The desire to please Krishna is the main purpose of Bhakti. So here in this verse, which we are discussing today from Srimad Bhagavatam, there are two symptoms of this Suddha Bhakti. Ahaitaki, Apratihata. And this is very, very important principle to practice as a sadhaka, as a practicing devotee to attain love of God. We all know that there are 9 stages of bhakti. Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nibriti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prema. And Prema also has different levels. So up to Anartha Nibriti is known as Anishtita Bhakti. Means unsteady devotion also. So bhakti really begins at the level of nishtha. Generally, we move towards Krishna when we come at the level of nishtha bhakti. Before that, we are in the same stage. We are not moving towards Krishna. Just like a car in neutral gear. If you put the car in neutral gear, everything will be nice. The car is brand new. The petrol is there. The engine is on. Everything is going on properly. But car is not moving. Why? Because car is in neutral gear. In the same way, in our bhakti, up to the level of anartha nibriti, the car of devotional service is in neutral gear. And when we come to the level of nishtha, that time the car is in the first gear to move forward. That's why Srila Prabhupada explains that if you want to advance in Krishna consciousness, please come to the level of nishtha as soon as possible. Because that is the real beginning of Krishna consciousness. Actually, Krishna consciousness is always a beginning. It is explained that real Krishna consciousness begins when we enter into the spiritual world. But as a sadhaka, the real Krishna consciousness begins at the level of nishtha. And nishtha means, what is the meaning of nishtha? Apratihata. When bhakti is apratihata, uninterrupted, that is a symptom of nishtha bhakti. And ahituki is ruchi bhakti. When bhakti comes to the level of ruchi, that is known as ahituki, causeless, unmotivated. Unmotivated, uninterrupted. So unmotivated represents ruchi, uninterrupted represents nishtha. Please remember this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also explains these 2 levels of bhakti in his Sikkastakam. So what is nishtha as per Sikkastakam verse? Verse number 3. That is the verse of nishtha bhakti. What is the verse number 3? Trinadapi sunichena tararupi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Apratihata means kirtaniya sadahari. Uninterrupted. And what is ahituki bhakti? Ruchi level. That is explained in verse number 4. Na dhanang, na janang, na sundaring, kavitang va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmaneshware bhavatat bhaktir ahitukite. Ahituki, what is also used by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is ahituki bhakti. That is ruchi. There are 6 symptoms of bhakti explained by Rupa Goswami and Bhakti Rasamrita. 2 manifest at the level of sadhana, 2 manifest at the level of bhava, and 2 manifest at the level of prema. Right? Those who have done Bhakti Shastri should remember this. So, the 2 symptoms of bhakti manifest at the level of sadhana are Klesagni and Subhada. You can remember? No? So, Klesagni happens at the level of nishtha and Subhada manifests at the level of ruchi. So, therefore, these 2 levels are very, very important. Level of bhakti. So, Kirtaniya Sadahari. We will discuss that. In order to chant the holy name uninterruptedly, in order to render devotional service in uninterrupted, what is the qualification? 4 qualifications. Qualification begins with the most difficult one. Trinadapi Sunichena. cultivating the quality of humility. Then tolerance, Tararopi Sahishnuna. Amanina, don't expect respect, and giving respect to others. These are the 4 qualifications needed to render service at the level of Nishtha. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always chanting the holy name all the time. That is the meaning of Kirtaniya Sadahari. Sada means what? 24 hours a day. But there is another meaning of Kirtaniya Sadahari. Chanting the holy name in any condition of life. Whether it is favorable or unfavorable. Whether it is summer or winter. Whether it is victory or defeat. Whether it is India or out of India. Whether it is fasting or not fasting. Whether we are having fever or not having fever. Any condition of life. Chanting should go on. That is the meaning of Kirtaniya Sada. So in essence, whether we are in a favorable condition, materially, or in unfavorable condition, the devotional service should continue. That is the symptom of uninterrupted devotional service. Clear? So somebody asked Prabhupada, how can I chant the holy name when I am sleeping? Good question. Kirtaniya Sadahari. 24 hours. We are not at the level of Raghunath Goswami who never sleeps. We all sleep. So how to chant the holy name when we are sleeping? What do you think? That's a brilliant question, but Prabhupada answered. He said, first try to chant when you are awake. So we are not able to chant when we are awake. Rather, when we are chanting, we sleep. But we have a desire to chant during sleeping. But now, what is the level? We sleep during chanting. But where we have to go? We have to chant while we are sleeping. We have to understand our level. So therefore, we should practice chanting in an awakened state, at least. And in any condition of life, chanting should go on. Mahaprabhu spoke that verse, and people think this is not possible. It's impractical to do that. How it is possible? That's why Mahaprabhu is not only speaking, he is also demonstrating through his associates. And the example is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur's life demonstrates how one can chant the holy name in any condition of life. Haridas Thakur is a Namacharya. And he is very elderly. He appeared much before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was born in non-Hindu family. What to talk about Brahmana or Vaishnava family. According to social custom, he was outcast. But he was given the position of Namacharya. By this, Mahaprabhu is establishing a principle. Je bhaje, se boro. Who chants the holy name, he is a Vaishnava. It's not according to your birth. Kiva vipro kiva nachi sudra kene noi, je Krishna tattva vetta sei guru. This is the principle Mahaprabhu wanted to teach, and he taught through the life of Haridas Thakur. The highest position of the Sankirtan movement is the position of Namacharya. And it was given to who? To a Brahmana? No. It was given to who? A person who was outcast. By this, Mahaprabhu is teaching a highest principle of Sankirtan movement. And Haridas Thakur used to chant 300,000 names of the Lord every day. Always he was chanting. But complaint came to Qazi that this man is born in our community, but he is chanting the names of Hindu god. He should be punished. So Haridas Thakur was called. Kazi said, no problem. Whatever mistake you have done will be excused, will be forgiven. You just have to stop chanting. That's it. That is your qualification, to be excused. So Haridas Thakur said, how can I stop chanting? I cannot remain without chanting for a moment. Or to talk about stop chanting. He said, if you don't stop chanting, then you have to stop your breathing. Means you will be killed. You will be dead. That is the situation. If that happens to us, we should check our level of bhakti. But what Haridas Thakur said? Haridas Thakur said, Khanda khanda hai deho, jai jodi pran, tobu bodone ami na chari harina. Haridas Thakur replied to Kazi, you can cut your body, you can cut my body into pieces. But each piece of my body will keep on chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the meaning of Kirtaniya Sadahari. So, any difficulty comes in our life, generally we tend to think that it's very difficult to chant. That's why we have to understand our situation. But to come to that level, we have to cultivate the qualities. It's not going to happen by process of time. Because this is the secret. The success in our spiritual advancement depends on quality of our chanting. And that quality is not externally achieved. If you do puja for some years, then you can become expert pujari. If you sing for a long time, then you can become expert singer. If you manage for many years, you can become expert manager. You can cook for a long time, you can become expert cook. But by chanting long time, you cannot become expert chanter. That's not possible. You can keep on chanting for not one lifetime. You can keep on chanting for millions of lifetimes. Koti janma hari name nai premadhan. Unless we cultivate the quality, we cannot chant the holy name purely. That's why this verse is a very fundamental verse to chant the holy name purely. That begins with humility. And Mahaprabhu's teaching is based on that quality. Rupa Goswami became the Acharya of our line not because he was a very scholarly person, not because he was from a very aristocratic family, not because he was the minister of Nawab Hussain Shah, not because he was very good looking, having a lot of money. That was not the qualification of Rupa Goswami. What was the qualification of Rupa Goswami? Mahaprabhu personally came to meet Rupa Goswami to give initiation to Ramkeli Dham. Why? Because Rupa Goswami was the embodiment of humility. When Rupa and Sanatan met Mahaprabhu, Rupa and Sanatan told Mahaprabhu that we are more sinful than Jagai and Madai. And they are not doing some drama because there is no audience to see their drama. They are expressing their genuine humility to Mahaprabhu. And you know the level of sinful activities Jagai Madai did. So Rupa and Sanatan were genuinely feeling that the topmost Vaishnava, but they are feeling that they are more sinful than Jagai and Madai. That is a symptom of advancement. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Whoever advances the most, he thinks he is the most fallen. That is the beauty. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is singing, Amar Jivan Sada Pape Rato, Nahiko Punyero less. Who is telling that? Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He is the eternal associate of Krishna, Kamala Manjari. He is telling that Amar Jivan Sada Pape Rato. My life is always filled with sinful activities. Nahiko Punyero less. I don't have a tinge of piety in my life. He is expressing his Humility. Genuine humility. And that is the qualification. And because Rupa Goswami was exhibiting that quality of topmost humility, that's why he became the prime Acharya of our life. Everything was given to Rupa Goswami because of that qualification. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Sanatan, please give up your humility because your humility is breaking my heart. That level of humility there expressed. Then tolerance. When someone is humble, naturally become tolerant. This is the root quality. Humility is a quality through which other qualities will manifest. So if you don't have that quality, other qualities will not manifest. 26 qualities of Vaishnava depends on this quality of humility. That's why Mahaprabhu is teaching again and again, hammering this point. In order to come to the level of Shuddha Bhakti, that quality is a must. And he is teaching through the main Acharya, Rupa Goswami. Then we have to learn how to tolerate. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, Je soye, se rahe. Becoming devotee is difficult. Right? Staying as a devotee is more difficult. Staying happy as a devotee is most difficult. That is the problem. Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. Right or wrong? That is the secret. How you can be happy? If you chant the holy name of the Lord. And Prabhupada used to be very upset when he used to see that devotees are not happy. Even after chanting the holy name, if someone is not happy, means there is some serious problem. And why you are not experiencing happiness while chanting the holy name of the Lord? Because you are not chanting without offense. Lot of aparadha is happening. And why we commit offenses? Because of opposite quality of humility, that is ego. Pride and ego is the cause of offense. Humility means what? Humility means understanding one's own humble position and trying to appreciate the higher position of others. Humility does not mean, oh, I am fallen, I am sinful. That is not the symptom of humility. Humility is the quality by which one appreciates the greatness of others. That's why glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam, glorifying the person Bhagavat is the best way to cultivate humility. Appreciating others. That is very, very important. That's why Srila Prabhupada explains 3 levels of devotees. Kanishtha-adhikari Vaishnava, Madhyama-adhikari Vaishnava, Uttama-adhikari Vaishnava. Based on what? How he gives respect. That is the another 2 qualities. Amanina, manadena. Who can chant the holy name of the Lord? Who does not expect respect from others, but who is ready to give respect to anybody and everybody. So, Kanishtha-adhikari Vaishnava, he gives respect to 2 personalities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Spiritual Master. He does not give respect to anybody else. For him, these are the 2 most important persons, and everybody else is not so important. And next important person is he, the most advanced devotee in the whole creation. That is Kanishtha-adhikari. Then who is Madhyama-adhikari? Who gives respect to all the Vaishnavas. Prabhupada mentions this in Krishna book. Who is Madhyama-adhikari? Who gives respect to all the Vaishnavas. His equals, his juniors, his seniors, everybody. And who is Uttama Vaishnava? Who gives respect to every living entity. That is Uttama Vaishnava. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, সকলে সম্মান করিতে শকতি দেহনাথ যথাযথ তবে তো গাইব হরিনাম সুখে অপরাধ হবে না। Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song is the explanation of all the philosophy which are explained in Shastra. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling who can chant the holy name of the Lord without any offense? Who can give respect to everyone. Not all the Vaishnavas, everyone. Now question may arise, how to do that? Very difficult. Expecting respect is the natural constitutional position we have. Right? If anything good has happened, I have done it. If anything bad has happened, he has done it. We always blame others and want to take credit. But what is spiritual life? Spiritual life is completely opposite. Trying to take the blame and try to appreciate others. That is Vaishnava life. Radharani is thinking she is not able to do any service. Others are doing so much. She is doing the best and she is doing the most important service. But she is thinking she is not able to do any service. That is a qualification. That is a qualification to come to the level of Uttama platform. So, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sada. If we have these 4 qualifications, then we can chant the holy name of the Lord all the time. That is uninterrupted devotional. Then next is unmotivated. Time is running quickly. Unmotivated means we don't have any other desire than the desire to please Krishna. Anna vilasita sunya. Who is experiencing the higher taste, ruchi, can give up the lower taste. By chanting this mantra, we cannot experience that ruchi. For that, we have to experience the taste in the holy name, Name Ruchi. And Name Ruchi, when we will have Name Ruchi, then naturally, Nadanang, Najanang, Nasundaring, Kapitang ba Jagadisha Kamay, Mamo Janmane Janmaneshware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahitu. Who is experiencing the higher taste of Krishna consciousness, who is experiencing the taste of the pure chanting of the holy name, he has no interest in this world. That's the natural consequences. He does not need dharma, artha, kama, moksha. He'll give up because he is experiencing the Pancham Purushartha, the highest stage of devotional life. That is Krishna Prema. So who is testing pure devotional service, naturally dharma, artha, kama, moksha become very insignificant. So giving up dharma, artha, kama, moksha is a symptom of ruchi in the devotional service. So we should know how to pray. Mahaprabhu is praying like that. So we have to check our heart. When we come in front of the Lord, what we pray? We are praying like this or we have some other desires? We should be honest. Dhruva Maharaj was honest. When Narad Muni told him, he gave a lot of knowledge to Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj said, it's very good knowledge, but it's not applicable for me. I want a greater kingdom than Brahma. Please tell me how can I achieve that. So he was very, very honest. Honesty is very, very important. We should be very honest in front of the Lord. What we want. But if we want to have Prema Bhakti, then we have to come to this level of Nadhanang, Najanang, Nasundaring, Kabitang, Bajagadisha Kamwe, Mamo Janmane Janmaneshware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahitu. And you may say it's not possible, but Mahaprabhu is again demonstrating through Kolaveta Sridhar. So Sridhar was asked. Sridhar was not known to people. When Mahaprabhu told his associate to call Sridhar, they are asking, who is Sridhar? Nobody knew, but Mahaprabhu knew. That's why popularity is not the qualification. Spirituality is the qualification. But in this age, we all want to be popular. And by becoming popular, we think we can go back home, back to God. That's not the qualification. Spirituality is the qualification. If nobody knows, but Krishna knows, that is the perfection. But if everybody knows, but Krishna doesn't know, then what is the use? So, Kolaveta Sridhar was known to the devotee community also. Mahaprabhu told, at the end of this village, someone who is chanting the holy name loudly, that is Sridhar. Call him. So, when devotees went to call Sridhar, and when Sridhar heard that Mahaprabhu is asking, he entered into ecstasy. Such a level of Krishna consciousness. He fainted. So Mahaprabhu told Sridhar that I want to give you something because I am in the mood of giving in the Sriva Sangan. He said, Sridhar, I want to make you the king of the heaven. I want to give you mystic siddhi. I want to make you the king of this world. Whatever you want, I will give you. Please ask. So Sridhar said, Mahaprabhu, don't allure me like that. I don't want all this. No, no, no. You have to take. You have to take. So when Sridhar was asked like that, you should know what is the position of Sridhar also. Materially, he was very, very poor. It's very difficult to be poor like that. He has a thatched hut, having a roof with lot of holes. Mahaprabhu used to tell him, Sridhar, please fix the hole. He said, what's the use of? He said, I am very happy with this house, with the holes. At least I have a house. Many people don't have a house also. They are so satisfied. That satisfaction comes from within. Santushta Atma. The santushti, the satisfaction comes from Krishna consciousness, not from external arrangements. And he used to wear a dhoti, more holes than dhoti. So many holes. And he used to make a knot, so many knots in his dhoti. So Mahaprabhu used to tell him, Sridhar, please change your clothes. He said, no, I am very happy with this. Many people don't have clothes. At least I have some clothes. So he was completely happy. That is Sridhar. And he used to have a business. What kind of business? The products coming from banana tree. Anything comes from the banana tree was the product he used to sell in Bamunpukur market. So, banana leaf, banana stem, banana flower. Banana tree is very interesting tree. Anything from it you can eat. But it is explained during Mahaprabhu's time, every house had banana trees. By this you can understand the demand of the product in the market. That is Sridhar. And Sridhar was also having fixed price. He used to sell product on the footpath but fixed price. And Mahaprabhu used to bargain. And after bargaining, he used to snatch the products without paying anything. So when Mahaprabhu was pushing to give benediction to Sridhar, Sridhar told Mahaprabhu that Nimai who comes to my shop every day and bargains with me and snatches the product without paying, that Nimai should remain my worshipable Lord, life after life. That is the benediction I want from you. That is the level of ahituku. Not expecting anything from the Lord in return for devotion. Na dhanang, na janang, na sundaring, pavitang vajagadisha kamaya, mama janmani janmanischare, bhavatad bhakti. So that is the verse we are discussing today. Abhay pungsang paro dharma jato bhakti radaksaje, ahituki apratihata, jayatma su prasidati. So time is up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any question, comment if you have? You can have for 5-10 minutes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful and mesmerizing class. You mentioned about Rupa Goswami's humility, that how he was feeling himself more sinful than Jagai and Madhai. Sometimes in course of our devotional service, many devotees come, and sometimes we also feel that because of so many past sinful activities we have committed, and those habits are still there, not completely gone. So sometimes those impressions come again and again in our sadhana bhakti, saying, chanting. Those thoughts come again and again and disturb us. So we naturally feel that we are very sinful. And sometimes we express this with the devotees. They say, Prabhuji, that is your humility. But actually that is reality.
Yeah, humility is reality.
So point is, what is the difference? Like Rupa Goswami's level is very far beyond. He has not committed that kind of sinful activities, but we have committed. So we are feeling and Rupa Goswami is feeling. What is the difference between these two cases?
One is accepting the reality is humility. Real humility to accept that we are the servant, Krishna is the master. That is the symptom of humility. So humility comes from knowledge and pride comes from ignorance. So humility comes naturally when you know that Krishna is the master, I am the servant. And what is the size of us? 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair. We are very insignificant, right? The tip of the hair is so insignificant, and if divided 10,000 parts, what is the size? But we think we are the controller of the whole world. Why? Because someone who does not have knowledge thinks like. Okay, that is one way. Now, humility is manifested when someone comes closer to Krishna. That's the natural expression. And I give the example of a mountain. Mountain is very big, huge, Himalaya mountain. But if someone is very, very far from that mountain, very, very far, so mountain looks very small. And who is looking at the mountain, he thinks, I am also like mountain. Right? Why? Because he is far, far away from mountain. Now that same person starts moving towards that mountain. The more he comes closer to the mountain, what will happen? What realization will come? The mountain will start appearing bigger and bigger, and he will start appearing smaller and smaller. The size remains the same, no? Size of the mountain is same, and size of the man is also the same, but experience is changing. Why? Because that man is coming closer to Krishna, closer to that mountain. In the same way, Krishna is like a mountain, very big. But a sadhaka, a devotee who is far, far away from Krishna, he cannot realize that. But when he advances in Krishna consciousness, comes closer to Krishna, then what will happen? He will start realizing the greatness of Krishna, and he will start realizing the insignificance of his own identity. So that is the science of Krishna consciousness. How do you know that someone is advanced? When someone is exhibiting that quality of humility. By that you can understand that he is very, very close to Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful explanation. Prabhuji was giving the explanation of the most sublime topic in our Krishna consciousness, pure devotional service. How did you feel? I had a great fortune in Mayapur. I heard a very important class. Prabhuji was giving the explanations between the conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda. First time I heard, I was the new devotee, and the class was so enchanting and deep that the whole class was completely silent, like pinpoint silent. Everyone got struck upon her. So in this way, Prabhuji was preaching and giving class, and every person, just by having one time his darshan and hearing one lecture, he feels so much love and develops so much respect for Prabhuji. Prabhuji is very expert manager. You know, in Mayapur Dham, Prabhuji.
Ask question.
No, just thanks.
Already introduced. No need more.
And I heard this is very powerful. Powerful in this sense that within a short time, Prabhuji completed many projects, maintaining all the good relations to all the devotees also. So in this way, I know that a lot of time is spent in Mayapur Dham, but to see his competence and eagerness, expertise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pulled him out of Mayapur Dham. Now he is expanding himself in all India. He is taking care of the difficult and complicated many affairs. And within a short time, very nicely, Prabhuji is giving the solutions. Prabhuji is, is going for preaching in the foreign countries also. So I know Prabhuji from the beginning, and I had a very good relationship with him. We had a lot of interactions with him in different places in Mayapur. Prabhuji is very loving and caring to all the junior devotees and all the devotees also. His whole parentage is binds Krishna Bhakta hai. His elder brother now is still in Mayapur, holding the big responsibilities. At that time I know that his elder brother, Bhakta Prabhu, was taking care of the Samadhi temple. He also gives very wonderful classes also. Few days ago I was participating in Sannyas college. I am the junior. And Prabhuji was also one of the students. But after a few sessions I saw the Prabhuji appeared in front of us as a professor. He was giving lecture to the Sannyas candidates. So you see his expertise. And naturally, from Dirgha Prabhu, you heard that Prabhuji is present, The principles of Bhagavad Mahavidyavala in Vrindavan is they are providing a lot of spiritual courses. So in this way, we know that it is stated in the scriptures, it's difficult to recognize a devotee, a pure devotee by our eyes. One has to use his ear. So certainly I understood Prabhuji's spiritual position also. He is not only the manager expert.
भक्त लोगों का क्वेश्चन है, ठीक है?
So I will request Prabhuji, please continuing your visit in Ujjain time and time again. All the devotees are very much inspired and we will be awaiting for you for the next visit. Please shower your blessings and affections and love on us so that we can grow up properly. And Prabhuji's class is nectarian, right? This nectarian class is actually very much nourishing to us. Do you expect his visit again and again? Haribol! Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving a short association. If we commit any mistakes and offenses, probably excuse us.
Short visit, but you have spoken very long.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, in the evening today, he will be departing. And so, if you have any questions, I will request you to meet with him in his room. Prabhuji is ready for that. Thank you very much, Sankarshan Prabhu. Let us greet him by our traditional way, by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Sankarshan Nitai Prabhuji ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.